Gout Gout. He is 18 years old. And somewhere in the world right now, a former champion is watching him very carefully, because the greatest sprinter who ever lived just said 5 words about this teenager. And those 5 words changed everything. On April 12, 2026, Gout Gout stepped into the starting blocks at Sydney Olympic Park and ran the 200 meters in 19.67 seconds. It was his first legal sub-20-second performance. He was retaining his Australian national 200-meter title, a race he had won the previous year with a wind-assisted 19.84. The numbers were enormous. He became the first Australian man to legally break 20 seconds. He took 0.02 of a second off the world under 20 record set by American Ariane Knighton in 2022, and he moved to 16th on the senior all-time list, meaning only 15 humans in all of history have ever run the 200 meters faster at any age. But the record did not survive without a fight. Former American sprinter Aaron Brown called it clearly fake on social media, wrongly claiming an illegal tailwind. Olympic champion Justin Gatlin went further. He said, "You've got to do it outside of Australia. Show us you can do it outside Australia." That's the thing. You can run fast in comfort. Everyone can run fast in comfort. But can you run fast in discomfort? The source of the doubt was the conditions. 7 finalists set personal bests in the same race, some by as much as 0.2 of a second. The wind reading was plus 1.7 meters per second, legal but brisk. Critics pointed to the new track surface and the tailwind and said the numbers were too good to trust. Gout answered them in the only language that matters. "There are always going to be haters," he said. "If there are haters, it means you are doing something right. It was pretty fast, so that is probably why they were mad. It motivates me to do an even bigger race and run even faster." On June 1, 2026, World Athletics announced the official ratification of Gout's 19.67 alongside 5 other newly approved world records. The wind gauge had read plus 1.7. The clock had read 19.67. That was always going to be the end of the argument. The Usain Bolt comparison was never just a feeling. It was always a set of numbers. Bolt won World Junior Gold at 15 years old in 2002 at his home stadium in Kingston. He ran 20.58 seconds during that championship. That time set the standard for what a 15-year-old sprinter could do. At 16, Bolt ran the 200 meters in 20.13 seconds at the Pan American Junior Championships in 2003. World Athletics recognized it as the fastest ever by an athlete that age. The record stood for over 2 decades. Then in December 2024, Gout ran 20.04 at the Australian All-Schools Championships. At 16 years old, he was officially faster than Bolt had been at the same age. At 17, Bolt ran 19.93 seconds in Bermuda in 2004, becoming the first teenager in history to break 20 seconds in the 200 meters. At 18, Gout Gout ran 19.67. Bolt's fastest ever as a teenager was 19.93. The gap between them at equivalent points in their careers is 0.26 of a second. In the world of elite sprinting, that is not a small number. It is an era. Gout himself has looked at those numbers. He is aware of exactly where he sits on that curve. When asked about the comparison on Noah Lyles' podcast, he said, "I am trying to be the next Gout Gout." Obviously, being compared to Usain Bolt, everyone wants to be the next star. But then I am Gout Gout, so I want to be able to make my name as big as his name. That is not a teenager trying to carry someone else's legacy. That is a teenager who understands exactly where the ceiling is and intends to build his own. Usain Bolt watched Gout's performances go viral in December 2024, when the then 16-year-old ran 20.04 seconds at the Australian All-Schools Championships in Brisbane, breaking the national record Peter Norman had held since the 1968 Olympics. Bolt saw the footage. He typed 5 words on Instagram. "He looks like young me." That single comment moved across the global athletics community faster than any press release. When Gout was asked about it in a television interview, he said it gave him the confidence to keep going. "I can become big like him," he said. "I guess that gives you the confidence to keep moving forward." Then came April 2026, after the 19.67 in Sydney. Bolt spoke to CNN Sports at Watches and Wonders in Geneva, Switzerland. He made clear that the comparison had moved from casual observation to something more serious. He said the exact same risks that once threatened to swallow his own career were now circling Gout Gout, and he had a direct message for the teenager. Hopefully, he has the right set of people to guide him and keep him focused on track and field, Bolt told CNN, because the rest of the stuff will always be there. But if you mess up on track and field, then it all goes away. This is the moment when a comparison becomes a torch. Bolt was not complimenting a young runner from afar. He was speaking from experience. He was describing what it feels like to be the most talked about teenager in sprinting and warning that the attention itself is the first real test. He had been through it. He knew what could go wrong. Gout's response, based on everything he has shown so far, is that he already knows this. His own coach, Diane Shepard, has said it since the beginning. Humility in bucket loads. Gatlin's challenge had a point buried inside the noise. Gout had never raced at senior Diamond League level. Every world record, every personal best, every moment that had drawn Bolt's attention had happened on Australian soil. At some point, the teenager was going to have to show the world that the numbers travel. That moment arrives at the Bislett Stadium in Oslo, Norway, at the Diamond League on June 10th. It is Gout Gout's first senior Diamond League race. His opponent in the 200 meters is Letsile Tebogo of Botswana, the reigning Olympic 200-meter champion. Tebogo won his Olympic gold at Paris 2024, running 19.46 seconds to beat every other sprinter on the planet over half a lap. He was 21 years old at the time and became Botswana's first Olympic gold medalist in any sport. He is 23 now, fast, experienced in major championship finals, and carries the confidence of a man who has already stood at the top of the sport. Gout has never faced competition at this level in a senior race outside his own country. The story beyond Oslo does not get any smaller. After Oslo, Gout is scheduled to face both Tebogo and two-time Diamond League champion Kenny Bednarek at the Prefontaine Classic in Eugene, Oregon. Then in August, he will return to Eugene for the World Athletics Under-20 Championships, which run from August 5th to 9th. Gout gave up his spot at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow to be at those championships. That is the exact move Bolt made in 2002, skipping rival events to win World Junior gold in the 200 meters. Bolt used that title as the launchpad for everything that followed. Gout Gout is following the same blueprint, step by step, meet by meet. The case for Gout Gout as the next Usain Bolt has always rested on more than speed. It rests on the fact that every specific marker Bolt hit at the same age, Gout has already passed.